Hi Siddharth.
Hi, how are you, man?
I would like you to introduce yourself so that people can understand you better and from your own words.
I'm a filmmaker, man. Normal. I write films. I direct them. I produce them sometimes. I don't like producing, but so it happened when I started directing. My clients, everyone was like, we're looking for an all in 360-degree solution. Why don't you also produce? Then I realized there's also more money to be made. So I just, I was like, might as well just do it. So I just started hiring other producers. I mean, I know how to produce, but I feel you should just focus on one thing. And my allegiances lie towards writing and directing. Like that's where my passion lies.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Also, earlier you told me that it's been 10 years that you have been in this industry, right?
Yeah.
So, give a glimpse of that 10 years in a like a very, very short condensed form, that how your experience been all these 10 years. What's like any ups and downs, any blockbuster of what you experienced?
Plenty, man. So when I came, there was only one route. उस time पे इतना होता नहीं था DSLR लो और shoot कर लो types.
Hmm.
You had to choose what you have to do, right? So like for me, like I was very first when I started, I never studied filmmaking. I didn't even know I wanted to do filmmaking at all.
Hmm.
I was just freshly still in college. I think I was in second year or third year or something like that. And I didn't know what to do with my life. Just didn't want to work with my father. He's into construction and stuff.
Hmm.
And I knew I didn't want to take any money from home. I know I didn't want to work with my father. So I was like, what do I do? One of my friends wrote this music video. I was like, dude, pata hai aise video hoti, it'd be really cool. And he's like, dude, this is a really cool idea. And I was like, oh, maybe I like telling stories. Maybe this is something I should do. And I started writing a script. It was called Potato Potato. It was about these three college guys. I was inspired from real life events. And that's what I've learned. So that's one thing someone really told me, and it's never changed. The kind of films you want to make never changes. The way you tell that story keeps changing. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So till now, I think my scripts, my stories are very similar to that. So it's about these three college kids that end up chilling, working school, they're smoking weed, they're chilling, they're just talking about shit, they're talking about teachers, girls, etc. And one of their parent comes home and he, fucks all of them up. He's like, dude, I'll tell your parents, etc., etc. The next shot, he goes and chills with his two friends with that joint, and they talk about the same things but in a different context called
Hmm.
potato potato. So I tried doing that. It didn't happen. Then one of my friends, she was doing this filmmaking course. She's like, bro, it's a 1 week thing. Why don't you just do it? Maybe you'll find some people who can shoot it for you. So I did that and that changed everything. My second day, I was for the first time ever, I was a nerd. Like I was, pre-learning all things and going. And I was at that point, I made up my mind that I think
Hmm.
this is it. I never looked back. I never had a plan B. So over there, they chose only two people to, make a film, two groups to make a film. I was fortunate enough they chose me. That film got screened, selected somewhere. I've never cared enough for screenings and winning awards. I didn't even end up going for that. So that won something. It got screened somewhere. Then I thought, might as well go to Bombay. When you're young, you think, oh, what is it? It's so easy. So I moved to Bombay. Within a month, I got gig with Rakesh Mehra at that time, which was apparently quite good. So I moved to Bombay. Then Rakesh Mehra was shooting in Delhi, so I had to move back to Delhi. Now the thing is, now this is the phase that I call working for people and with people. And I realized I am not someone that can work for someone and for someone else's dream as much as I can for mine.
Yeah.
So I worked with, long story short, I worked with Rakesh Mehra, I worked with Nandita Das, Prahlad Kakkar. I worked on many, many, many ads with Equinox, Ram Madhvani's production house, etc., etc. I've done loads and loads of ads. In the middle, I did manage to become a good AD, but I never enjoyed it because honestly, if someone were to ask me, I want to become a director, should I AD? I'll tell them probably on one or two sets with some directors you like, but make sure you're not doing anything of relevance. You're just a fly on the wall and you just absorb everything and then never do it again.
Hmm.
Because once you AD and you become very proficient at it, all these things about logistics start coming into your mind, especially if you're creative and you want to write, say, um, a director's note or you want to write a screenplay. They'll keep thinking, ye kaise hoga or something. So I don't think that works. Anyway, so now, I was like, dude, this is not my jam. I don't want to AD. I fucking hate it.
Hmm.
What do I do? luckily enough, so what also happened is, like people think कि हमारा काम, like people who go to 9 to 5, they think हमारा काम बहुत easy है. We always, on set, it's always creative. It's really tough, right? And our work doesn't end when our work ends, because it also continues when we're meeting people. We are our own business cards, right?
Yeah.
So I made sure I meet a lot of people. Like, I'll give you an example. I've just come to Bombay. I was with my cousin. I was drinking at one of this bar, and there was this other guy also sitting and drinking on the next table. I was like, dude, why don't you join us? Seemed like an interesting dude. We started talking. He asked me, what do I do? I told him a couple of my scripts. He told me a couple of his. Turned out to be the writer of Pyar Ka Panchnama, Sumit. And we ended up chatting, and he's like, dude, why don't you come work for me? At that time, I was like, oh, dude, I've come here to be paid. Stupid things. But that ended up making us be friends,
Hmm.
what I'm saying. Then ऐसे करते करते I met Navdeep Singh, and then through him I met Anurag Kashyap, Akshat Verma, etc. They invited me to the round table. Uh, Hardik Mehta, that time he was Aditya Motwane's AD. Now he's a director himself. So these guys guided me a little bit. Then I worked in ads because I only wanted to do ads.
Yeah.
I love ads, but it pains me to see the condition of ads, and because of influencers and stuff now.
Yeah.
Um, but then, like I said, I kept meeting people, I kept partying, and because of that, I had a big network of people. But no one still gave you a chance, because making a film was a very expensive business still. It wasn't like, you camera nikalo aur ban jao
Yeah.
film time. But I was lucky enough. There are these two designers, best designers in India, Abu Jani Sandeep
Yeah.
Khosla, and they ended up becoming friends. And we started discussing an idea. They're like, dude, you write a script. Why don't you, write this one script? The only brief I got is this wedding gone crazy Indian wedding. And I was like, okay, I wrote something outlandish. Matlab, debauched wedding. Everyone's fucking everyone. Weddings just gotten screwed. And they ended up loving it. Vishal Punjabi, the wedding filmer, he was going to shoot it.
Hmm.
And I went for the meeting. I flew down from Delhi again. Sandeep didn't like his brief. He's like, dude, why don't you shoot it? I was like, wait, what? Are you crazy? He's like, yeah, why don't you do it?
Hmm.
And karte, it went over budget. But what I'm saying is, we didn't lose hope. I ended up directing a fashion film for him, and that's how I got my in into a fashion world. And after that, 5 years from then, I've done something like about 300 films, fashion films, ads, films for real estate. So I've done films for Gauri Khan. I've done films with Abu and Sandeep. Siddharth Malhotra's been in my ad. Ananya Pandey's been in my ad. Sonam Kapoor, Shweta Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan, Jayanti Reddy, one of the biggest designers. Kunal Rawal, I've done whatever for two ads for Gauri Khan, etc., etc., etc. So I mean, um, yeah, it's been a good ride, man.
Yeah.
Basically, made a lot of mistakes, made a ton of mistakes, like the Rakesh Mehra film. Before it could go on floors, me and I can't name the person because she's a very famous actor. Both got thrown out of it. Um, but yeah, man, it's a part and parcel.
Yeah.
I've loved the journey, basically.
Hearing that for me is like, I'm just in a wonderland because like a background of me. So I'm a student. I just graduated. So I was a student at NMIMS in Mumbai only. So I was doing branding and advertising. And, in college, filmmaking, ads, and, this intrigued me so much that, I just went into that core. And when you
Mm.
told about you have worked with Prahlad Kakkar, so our course was led by Prahlad Kakkar at a point of time, but I don't know, due to some
Hey,
issues.
you fuckers! You fuckers! You fuckers!
But that was a very short span because after 6 months he
Okay.
left the thing, and we were so
Mm.
disappointed. But but the course held on to that, and at a point I did one gig as an assistant director at a small company. I don't think like if you would know their name, it's Small Box Office Motions.
Mm. Mm.
So I did an ad with them, and I was like, so my family is not from a background like this creative field. My father is a CA, and like I'm ways apart from him. So for us, it was like getting into a whole new world, and honestly, recently, so I was in Mumbai and I was trying, getting into this whole industry. So one thing odd, and I knew this, but someone told me कि यार, you don't know, पता नहीं क्या होगा. It's all on chances. आपके 4-5 साल नहीं पता. Should you go there? You should not. So I got a chance, going into a few production houses, but they said think इतना कि घर से you don't know, घर से 4-5 साल तक you will be flushing out money in Mumbai. You don't know where you would be getting. आपका फ्यूचर क्या होगा, कौन कौन आपका टैलेंट रिकॉग्नाइज करेगा. तो दैट थिंग मेक्स अ लिटिल स्कैरी फॉर लाइक घर पे भी एंड फॉर मी एज वेल. So taking that decision to enter into this industry, I know that, in anywhere you would be working 4 to 5 years, it's a thing that, then you start going deep into that area. So for that, I didn't have any guts. So I was like, okay, let's try a different path. And here I am doing, trying to just get anything uplifted from my side, and just
Yeah.
connected to that industry. So like, I want to know, how will you say that going through that path, or creating your own path, or doing that both at a point, which thing is better to just to be near or in this industry specific to this, because many freshers like us
See,
are confused.
so man, what I would say is, I was obviously, I've always been a big risk taker, right? And I've always believed never have a plan B, but that's just the way I am. If you ask me, if I were to give an advice to say my younger brother or a friend, I would not tell them to do this, right? The thing is, number one, there's so much competition. You have to have mad ambition. You have to have a paglon wala junoon, to
Yeah.
be in this. कि मतलब रोटी भी नहीं खाऊंगा, कुछ भी हो जाएगा, पागल हो जाऊंगा. मतलब I have cried. I'm a very tough person. I have cried multiple times. I have called home multiple times. And I had a single mother. Things weren't very well at that time, and it, like you said, there's a lot of luck involved. I got very lucky. I can't take away from that. Of course, I worked very hard. I've mopped floors on set. I
Hmm.
have slept on set. I have worked for 4 days without sleeping, even as a director, even as an AD. You know,
Yeah.
so it is a lot of hard work. But again, the thing is, if you love something, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like hard work. But now the good part is, bro, because of social media, there are so many more ways you can show your talent. What I would say is figure out ways, find your crew, make your films, do your shit, put yourself out there, and reach out to people, get something concrete before you move out. That's what I would say.
Hmm.
Fine, because when I was moving out, you couldn't have done that. You could just make 1, 2 films, send it to people. उस टाइम पे कोई देखता भी नहीं था. Emails भी कौन ही पढ़ता है यार, अभी भी कौन ही पढ़ता है. So you had to be there. But see, now also before moving out from Delhi the second time, I did get a gig. I made another short film. One of my mom's friends at this company, and he's like, I want to launch this company. Why don't you make a film on soft skills, etc., etc. I made a short film. He loved the idea. He gave me an order for 100 videos, and I was going to get paid 2 lakhs a month at that for starting, which is amazing. And this is about 9, 8 years back.
Hmm.
Uh, but I said, dude, I think I want to learn more, right, from people. And I was like, dude, in Delhi, there's not much scope to learn because there isn't much of this shit happening. There's more theater, etc., fashion, but there's not other much happening. So I made a decision that when I don't want to be the, the big fish in a small pond. I want to be the big fish in a big pond, in a big sea, rather. So I was like, let's just fucking go to Bombay and we'll, figure it out. And I did get lucky. Now I'll also tell you what's so dangerous about our industry and being in Bombay. When you come here, you'll rub shoulders with the stars, you'll make friends with people who are very close to power, who also have power, right? So you have an illusion of power around you all the time. You'll always feel ki bro, bas ek aur project and I've made it. And it's true. You're only one project away from greatness. So this also keeps people stuck for very long. It's very important, I feel, to have a time frame that bro, मैं अपने आप को इतना time ही दूंगा. I mean, who knows, man? Like it's It's future. Who the knows?
Yeah.
You need to have faith in yourself. What I would say is keep at it. If you really have the passion, you have all the tools now. You can make a film on your phone. Get your friends together, invest in yourself, make shit, put it on YouTube. There's nothing like YouTube. All all the traditional means of media are everyone's anyway getting. No one knows what's going to work. If someone, I don't want to take names, but you know, the biggest of biggest people in Bollywood right now can't figure out what the formula is to make it work, what's working, what's not working. Ads, like you see ads, man. No one knows what's working. The budgets have fallen completely. A production house, there was saying no to films, to ad films, are probably doing one or two ad films now at that budget. You have to do 10 films to, you know, keep you afloat. Pehle jaise hota tha. Ads are dead. Like for me, I'm mostly taking no ads at all, unless it's a really good ad or it's paying me too much. I'm trying to make a complete shift. I'm getting into something called branded content, which is making web series or short filmish type things for brands. You know, because I think traditional advertising is going to die very soon.
Yeah, like,
And also with AI now, dude. With AI now, you don't, you know, as I personally think in the next 7 to 10 years, nothing will be shot on camera.
okay. So yeah, talking about, the advertising, so I really, just clicked in my mind. So like and I'm 20 right now, and like 10 years back, I remember seeing few ads. So there was this Center Fresh and there was this Parle-G jingle and the OG
Yeah.
Cadbury, brothers. So those
Mm.
type of ads we aren't seeing right now. Even when we were studying, we were told about few of the ads which aren't, related. Yeah, they aren't relating to what right now is the scenario is. So they're just creating stuff. So I don't want to name the brand, but in cinemas there are few brands which are just creating for the sake of it, and it doesn't make any sense. So there was this I can't remember that brand. It was an innerwear brand, and they they just created some shit, and
Yeah.
it blew.
But there's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind it. You know, see now earlier. Let me talk about. Let me start with TV, right?
Hmm.
So in the 80s, if you see 80s TV, it was phenomenal. We
Yeah.
don't make shit like that even now. There was this show called Idhar Udhar. It was these two women that come from outside, but they staying. Their landlord goes away and they keep a guy who will clean the house chupke. You know, you can't imagine shit like that on TV now. Why? Because that time TV was afforded by the upper echelons of the society, right? Who were educated class, so they had to make shit like that. It was more theatrical. Fauji, Shah Rukh Khan's show. Then when we were growing up, like when I was growing up, then TV was also still afforded by ads were watched, like say Star World, etc. All these things were watched by again people who had a lot of money, a lot of education. So the ads were targeted towards those people. So
Hmm.
all the funny ads, you know, all the ads where you had to use your brains, all the creatives were paid so much money, dude. Like one ad was at that time the budgets were fucking 5, 7, 8 crores. You know, the biggest minds were working together. You were given a month, 1 month and a half to create an ad. Now shoot 5 to 7 दिन में ad चाहिए हमें. You know why? Because now the TV, dude. I haven't watched TV in the past 10, 12 years. I think, you know,
Okay.
TV is watched by the masses now.
Yeah.
You know, and what works with the masses, you don't know. You just want your visibility out. So that's why people are just creating shit. Even on the Instagram, right? Why people aren't getting giving the budgets, or people aren't, mostly, I would say generically, I know I'm generalizing. Generally, why people aren't creating much is because visibility has become more important, because attention span hai hi nahi. So
Hmm.
they're like, we don't give a fuck about your story or anything. Just keep with a vibe and just keep creating content now. You know, they don't care about keep and bro, honestly, जो दिन में दिहाड़ी विहाड़ी करते हैं, or you know, people who are I mean, people who watch escapist cinema, etc., and who watching TV, and जो भी उनको creative art से फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Maybe they care a little about sentiment, and उनको भी इतना ad से फर्क नहीं पड़ता. उनके बस दिमाग में ये होता है कि ओ शिट, ये हमने ब्रांड देखा, या विमल की ad, ये
Yeah.
इसका कोई स्टोरी टेलिंग थोड़ी ना है.
correct.
इसमें बस ये 3 एक्टर्स आके ऐसे करके चले गए. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This will work for that. It will work for their startup जो लोग टीवी देख रहे हैं अभी भी.
Hmm.
But I haven't seen TV in a really long while. YouTube ads ही देख लो अब. I mean, I have premium, but the last I remember सारे scams ही चल रहे होते हैं या दूसरों की फालतू ads चल रही होती हैं. So even now, if I see an ad on Instagram, being a filmmaker, I'll still stop because if I find something interesting, because I just love the idea of ads or telling a story in 30, 40 seconds. But otherwise, you're so desensitized to ads. Let me ask you, right? You say you like ads. Who is the brand ambassador of Tribhuvan Das jewelry or Hazuri Lal or Coca Cola? Can you
Go.
imagine?
Yeah.
10 साल पहले अगर कोका कोला का मैं पूछता कौन है ब्रांड एम्बेसडर, you would have said like this.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck anymore because we're desensitized to ads. We're desensitized to social media people also now. That's also dead. So now everyone is panicking to figure a new way of getting your brand out there,
Yeah.
which I feel is going to be user generated content, is going to be small Amazon mini series, is going to be branded content where say Uber comes out with a web series, that works with their diaspora, that works with their storytelling, that works with their sort of audience. This is going to be the new sort of thing, or they tie up with a creator on YouTube that makes a story just around their concept.
Hmm.
This is going to be the new game, I feel.
Okay. Okay. So, like, I know that we all know that advertising is growing at a great pace. It's a huge industry. But would you say that creativity is being suppressed than just businesses going? That they are all focused towards getting new businesses, getting the brand just out there, and creativity is being suppressed, or that thing that hooks us isn't done at all these days.
See, I'll tell you one thing, man. I'm not one of those people, who जो लोग बोलते हैं हमारे time पे ऐसा. I don't cry over those things. Creativity can never be suppressed.
Hmm.
Creativity is being challenged, right? Because AI आ गया, attention span small हो गया, ये.
Yeah.
So it's being challenged. But now there are people who are still being able to be creative. We just have to figure out a better way. And that's what I'm trying to do really hard. No one's doing this kind of shit what I'm trying to do now. Hopefully it works out, hopefully it doesn't, who knows, but that's the kind of business we're in. you know
Yeah.
you pick your battles, and this is the battle we sort of pick. Creativity can never be stifled.
Hmm.
You just have to find better creative ways and keep fighting on. Kuch na kuch to chalega, you know
Hmm.
but obviously there is this thing that it's become very, like say even advertising. Pehle jahan pe Prahlad, because I've worked with him, right? I've seen how he pitches, like, and that's where I also got it from. Like where brands come to me, and we used to whatever. I used to tell them it's collaboration. I'm not going to do something because तुमने बोल दिया तो मैं करूंगा. No, it's a collaboration. Either you give me a reason or I'll give you a reason. It's not just going to happen just for the fuck of it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to think about it. Why? We're going to come up with a reason for it.
Hmm.
So this is something Prahlad has instilled in, not just in me, but in everyone who's worked with him.
Hmm.
And also that you respect your own profession, right? You've hired me, you're paying me for a reason. So
Yeah.
respect me enough to take my whatever into consideration. Vis-a-vis when it comes to this, now I personally think it's a great time for creativity, dude. Now just imagine पहले film बनाना कितना expensive होता था. Drone
Yeah.
shots होते नहीं थे, helicopter shots वगैरह लेना, impossible. Now with like say 6-7 months down the line, or maybe even now, you don't even probably need so much of a team. If you have a good story, use AI and just make a nice short film.
Yeah.
Make a trailer for your film, get funding if you have to. There's
Yeah.
so many more avenues. Like do shit what you're doing. It's so cool. You know that you can't come here. You're trying to make your own connections. You're trying to learn from people. I think that's pretty cool. I couldn't have done that at my time, but now there are more avenues, right? So
Yeah.
creativity is being challenged. Entrepreneurship is being challenged because the landscape is changing very fast. But it's also exciting, right? If you take it as a challenge, everything becomes more exciting, I feel.
Hmm. 100%. So, okay, talking about that, attention span is low. You know, there are ads 30 seconders होते थे, but उससे भी आजकल they're just cut for 5 seconds, I guess. and much less these days. So how do you get that creativity, sustained in that short span? Because deadlines, as you said, it's very short these days. So, you know,
Yeah.
as you said, creativity is being challenged. People want the output should be 200% rather than that just 100%. So how do you stay, what's your process to get that creativity out there in just those few seconds?
See, personally, if you see any of my films, you'll see nothing is 5 seconds. So मैं तो वो करता ही नहीं हूँ.
Okay.
Like if a brand only wants that, I'm like, no, that is not my style. Like you
Okay.
can go find other people. That's not my style. The way I would challenge creativity is, sure, I'll create that starting suspense. Like if you see even that Siddharth Malhotra, Ananya Pandey teaser,
Yeah.
you'll see both of them walking in a silhouette. Looks pretty cool, but you'll see that, and you'll see both of them are walking towards each other. You can see who they, this by the silhouette, and it says, guess who's coming. Like basically, who these two people are together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something else. You show the feet, or you show something else, or you show, basically the idea is showing the first hook, that hooking the audience in the first whatever seconds, but then take your time to sort of dwell into the story, you know जो basically show the ending bit, or show the most fascinating part, or tease the most fascinating part in the
Yeah.
start, so the audience is like, okay, I want to see what's happening, and then take my own sweet time.
A
Like I
mystery.
still like doing that. Yeah, show a little mystery. See now, House of the Dragon भी लोगों ने देखा ही है ना.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So 40 minutes के भी लोग चीज देख ही रहे हैं.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out, how do I connect to the audience in that first 5 to 8 seconds, and then you can still tell your story.
Hmm.
But you don't have to change the way you want to tell a story, because 5 seconds you can't say shit.
Yeah. Of
Like
course.
there is this, there's this page on Instagram. I think it's called 5 second stories or whatever. एक दो चीजें उन्होंने अच्छी करी हुई हैं, but the rest is shit. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I can still think of a story. Like in 5 seconds, if you were to tell me, like, say, dude, give me like a 10 or 8 second short film, I
Hmm.
can think of something. Maybe, this guy is sitting at uh, uh, um, I mean, a therapist, right? And this guy is like, uh, the patient's like, doctor, I'm still hearing and seeing things. And he's like, have you stopped taking your medicines? He's like, no, these medicines don't work for me. And the doctor goes, listen, these medicines work, just give them a shot. And then you see a two shot, the doctor sitting alone. There's an 8 second thing does tell a story,
Uh,
but it works for this. Maybe you find those kind of stories. But obviously, like, it can't work for every sort of thing. Maybe you find these kind of stories, you create these kind of stories. I don't know, man. But I personally feel like there's you need therav also in a film. You need, even this whole thing of cut, 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 cut. I find it so annoying. Like it's just like calm down. And I'm telling you, see, like all style also, now it's cyclical. Everything comes and goes. All this fast cut and shit also, it's very jarring, right? It fries you mentally. It's going to go very soon. We are going to again be with one shot, one take, whole scenarios, which I just love. We are going to come back to that. I personally feel.
what we are taught right now is that I know that storytelling is at a point where stand-up was like 7 to 8 years back. I feel that. And it's gonna boom
Okay.
at some point. And storytelling is what is hooking as a consumer to a brand. So a brand story has to put out to get that, relevance with the audience. How important do you feel that in an ad every time to create a story that makes a sense towards that brand, and how hard is it to incorporate that?
I would, beg to differ. I think because of the short attention spans and all of that, I think it's more important for a brand to have a vibe.
Okay.
Because it is important for, like, say, Wimbledon, right? They put out 1,000 pieces in 14 days. It's
Hmm.
crazy. And Wimbledon doesn't need to do that, right? So I feel, because also now, see, as a brand, successful brand, you're probably talking to 50, 60, 70 creators, multiple agencies, and you also have to give them freedom to voice their voice, right? They have to be true to their voice. You can't just give them a script ki sabko yahi karna.
Yeah.
So it's very important to brand to have a vibe. to have a color palette, to have a vibe, and nurture other people's either storytelling vibes or quirks, I feel. But for me, as an inherent storyteller, if you ask me, I think it's the way I connect to people.
Hmm.
So storytelling for me is important. I think for brands now, what's important is having a vibe, having like say Nike, right? Or Apple. They never tell you buy our products.
Yeah.
They always sell you a lifestyle. They always sell you a vibe. They always make you dream, aspire. So it's always selling you on an idea,
Yeah.
um, on what could be. They always make you imagine. It's always see. I think how people say this job is not creative. Like say like you said, your father's a CA. You know, like I say, no one in my family has an iota of creativity. Like likewise, like no
Hmm.
one's into any of this shit. But I would say every job is creative. How to save money, where, what taxation to apply, that's also creative. I like
Yeah.
that in that sphere. But when it comes to telling stories or how to tell this story, how to make this shot funny, if I cut, from this person's single shot when he's talking to someone and cut it to a two shot and he's standing alone, will it be funny, not funny? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That beat, that is storytelling for me. For me, that is skill, right? Um, Basically, yeah, I would say that for brands, uh, vibes are more important. For me, storytelling is how I connect to people. Uh, I would totally say that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel there's going to be a time where brand in itself, how they have their own marketing teams. Now they're going to start having their own creator teams,
Yeah.
where they have people who are involved in some processes, where they start making their own content and putting it out there.
Hmm.
The whole manufacturing process, the research process, the this process, that process, that is what's going to build a brand's vibe now. And sponsoring content, sponsoring pieces of YouTube videos, or partnering up with creators, partnering up um, uh, with like say like a filmmaker like me, who like, okay man, like I like your storytelling, I like your comedy, I like your style, I like your high fashion, or whatever it may be. Can you create this piece for us? Can you create a series for us? That is, I think, where the future is. So basically, again,
Hmm.
keeping your vibe intact, but giving wings to your creator, to your director, to whoever, to just go wild and do something is, I think, a winning formula.
Good. Okay, so this question is like I ask everyone, like किसी को भी मैं मिल जाऊं, I'll just ask them this question. So if you know, if we had Ishan Nair at our college for a thing, and even Sonam Nair. So I asked them also, and I don't know why, but everyone's a little stuck with this question. So I would also ask you this question that, for people like you in this creative field, as a creative individual, at some point, I feel, there's a block, there's a huge creative block. It can be for a day, it can be for a month. So that is one thing that everyone, tackles that. And, there are many ways to tackle that. So how would you, like, go through that and overcome that? What's your process about that block? When, like, have you like had it, or like till now you haven't?
Bro, everyone has it. So I'll tell you so this have you seen this movie called Blow?
No.
Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz.
No.
Fantastic film. It's a true story, right? Watch it, please. Masterclass in filmmaking. Anyway, so the
Okay.
writer of Blow was sitting and he was playing the celebrity poker. Uh, and there was this amazing poker player, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm a big fan. How did you write Blow?" And his answer is a perfect answer to your answer. He just said this: when you have a writer's block, just write. Even if it's shit, just write. And different things. And honestly, for me, different times, every time I've had a blog, different things work at different times. The good and the bad part is that we can do anything under the sun and say we are working and researching. चाहे मैं बेड पे बैठ के कुछ नहीं कर रहा, I'm working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also the thing is, I feel with creative people, if there's a bug of something unfinished or something that's whatever, it just keeps irritating you, dude. Like it's just on your mind. And sometimes you just need to let go.
Yeah.
Sometimes meditate. Like the boring answer would be meditate.
Yes.
Sometimes just watch shit. You know, watch films. Like say if I'm writing a road trip film, just watched endless road trip films, and then just let it marinate. But I feel after doing and trying as much, what's important, what's most important and key is getting bored. To be creative, you have to learn to be okay with getting bored. This being on the phone, this constant stimulation is something that robs you of your creativity, I feel. So trying to get bored is very important. Sitting without any digital shit is super duper important. Do anything you can, try everything. Likhne ka try karo, do everything. But for some time, just sit by yourself, do nothing, and get bored. Get
Mm.
so bored that even opening your computer and seeing a blank screen becomes fun. You know, get so fucking bored. Detune yourself from so much for so long that even opening a screen becomes like, oh shit, thank God, काम करते हैं. You know, I would say that. Learn to get bored.
So I found out that you have your own production house, Siddharth Jain Productions.
What a terrible name for a creative person.
No, it's fine. I think personal branding is something that I go by.
That wasn't the idea. It was just I made my second film.
Okay.
Abu Sandeep gave me a call. He's like, dude, I love this film. I want to put the name of your production house. And he was like, and we had to release the film that day. And he's like, rewrite the name and send it to me. I want to post with it. I was like, "Kya likhu?" I was like, Siddharth Jain Production. That's how it just came to me.
At the end, it would work out for the best, right?
Whatever.
So, I just want to know that ki having your own production house at this point of time, business would be coming to you as a production house. You want to get a project, okay, an ad film or any shoot that you want to get it done. How would you pitch to someone in the industry to
Hmm.
get that business to you rather than going it to someone else?
Dude, honestly, it's a drawback that I have. It's something that I'm still fighting. I've never pitched for projects.
Okay.
Everything I've gotten has been word of mouth.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it is something that I'm still battling. Like because like I told you, I've messed up my knee. Then it's been a year. I didn't take up anything. So I guess it's something that I still have to learn. Maybe when you podcast with other people, you let me know their strategy.
Sure.
But honestly, just dude, like I've done work now. I send my films. I can send them ideas, but what more should I do, man? I don't know.
Hmm.
I can't go can't go begging for work and all that.
Yeah.
That's just never been me. I've never been. I feel like, and honestly speaking, agar zyada ho gaya, bro, just like I've always been like this, right? Like I can't sit still for too long. Like right now, I have a couple of series that I've written, a couple of short films that I've written for brands. I have, so I know some people that work in those companies. I've told them to get me in touch.
Hmm.
If they like it, cool. I'll go to the competitors. Great. If that doesn't work out, honestly, I'm just going to make it and put it out there.
Hmm.
So hope it doesn't come to that. But if it does, then I'm just going to, get some people together, get my whatever together, some professional people,
Hmm.
some friends who want to work with me, and just make it, man. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? I don't know. See,
No.
the thing is, you have to understand what are you in it for.
Hmm.
Like, is it the money aspect that you're in it for? Is it still the creative aspect that you're in it for? I honestly still just love telling stories. If I really want to tell a story, I just want to tell it.
Hmm. Got it.
But when it does come to like say pitching, like at
Hmm.
that time there was this Lodha project. It was the biggest project that my company would ever do at that time. And then after that, the Gauri Khan one. Well, anyway, the Lodha project is the biggest I was going to do. But I make sure my emails are so proper, from every spacing to the grammar to every full stop. Everything is just accurate. Everything is written by me. Every pitch that goes, I check 10,000 times. My
Hmm.
presentation is so good that you can tell what the song is going to be. You're going to, as like say, a marketing person who's supposed to approve the project, you know what the film is going to look like from the first shot to the last shot, what the music is going to be, everything. What that does is that safeguards me when the film is out. He changes, ranges, this, that, and the other. My terms of orders are completely mentioned, and it safeguards you
Hmm.
because you know what's going to work out. you
Yeah.
know. Also, of course, I make people understand that it's a living, breathing thing. It's a film. It's a collaboration. We can work on some things, of course, if they're reasonable,
Mm.
you know. If अगर दोनों का नुकसान नहीं हो रहा, if it's reasonable, we'll work on things. Either you convince me or I convince you, you know. But I make sure my pitches, and mostly any pitch that I have mostly done, I would say my strike rate's been about 92 to 95%. I've gotten the gig mostly. So I've been lucky, but it's also been word of mouth.
I can't tell you that how much fascinated I am to listen to all this, because this is something a dream for me, that I'm getting a great insight from like into the industry. And yeah, so
I'm glad, dude.
I'm just in the wonderland. So so my next thing would be, we are taught set things. Okay, this is so we have this funnel. You create that story through that funnel. You build this in that sense. You'll achieve something great. But I feel that isn't the case every time, because अगर ये होता तो हर जना वो same theory लगा के हर जना बादशाह बना फिरता. I don't feel that. How do you define a great process that builds a great ad?
Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. Right? A a happy team, a good team, is a focused team, and you need a focused team to make a good product.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So when I was working, when I started, there was a massive hierarchy. ये director से बात नहीं कर सकता, ये उससे वो नहीं कर सकता, ये नहीं कर सकता. People weren't treated as well, very good. When I took note of these things, and I said मेरे set पे ये सब नहीं होगा कभी भी.
Hmm.
So from the light boy to the main actor to my ADs, everybody, there are meetings before I go on set. 2 days before, everybody on set knows the whole flow of the shoot. Everyone knows the reason behind every shot. Everyone knows the timings. Everyone works together as a team. Yes, we all have roles, but everyone knows कि अगर कहीं पे कुछ छोटा कुछ कमी पड़ गई, सब कुछ ना कुछ करेंगे. I work with the art department, and I give everyone the equal respect. I call up the makeup person, and I also see, like I said, when people hire me, I expect them to give me that respect because they paid me the money. I also give that respect to people I am hiring, right? So I will tell the makeup people, this is my vision, this is my whatever. What do you think should happen with the makeup? First, you give your vision and you let them come up with things, right? You give them wings. But obviously the last word is mine. But you let them, maybe they give you an idea, you're like, oh shit, ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था, because that's not my expertise, right? So you let them give you great ideas, and then you work together. That is the best way. You have to understand you cannot do everything alone. You should not do everything alone. That's stupid. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Work together, run together. Everything's going to be amazing. Now, let me give you an example. Okay, so I'm not going to name the brand or the main person, but I can get into shit. I mean, everything can get into shit. But this was this massive first MNC I worked for,
Mhm.
and they called me, they hired me, and they gave me these scripts. It was, saying that shit, voiceover हो रहा है, and this person, she was launching these perfumes, and उसमें ना बस ऐसे ऐसे शॉट्स लेने हैं, जो भी करके BTS टाइप शॉट्स लेने हैं, वो पीछे वॉइस ओवर चलेगा, वो चेप है. And they like ये करना है एक दिन. And I was like, dude, okay. I said yeah, because that name mattered a lot to me at that time. अब एक रात जाने से पहले I was like, bro, पैसे तो ज्यादा मिल नहीं रहे हैं. And why am I doing this stupid shit? If I'm doing this, might as well show my creativity and all. Na? I was like, script लिखते. मैंने 4 film की scripts लिख दी. So
Okay.
then I went. I was like, listen, can I meet the main star, because I'm directing it. She has to be there. She's like, oh, no, videographer is allowed to meet you. I was like, calm down. First of all, I'm not a videographer. I'm your film team. I'm the film director. I need to meet the person. We have to be comfortable. You have to create that comfort level. Everyone has to work together. Everyone has to know that, the comfort level. You have to ease everyone into it. And also, I chilled with that person before, we party together, etc., etc. But I hadn't obviously, called them up and told them, which also people appreciate. So she saw me. She's like, "Oh my God, you doing this?"
Hmm.
So now I was like, listen, don't mind. This is the brief I'd gotten. I'd written these scripts. Would you mind reading them? So she's like, okay, sure. I was like, instead of saying all this potha, there's this one line, and this is how the film's gonna go.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck, yeah, I love this. So I went out to the marketing head. I said, she loves the scripts. She's like, what scripts? I was like, oh, my AD didn't give this to you. So I just handed them over to them. Now we're in Alibag, we're away. They can't say anything. It's last minute. I got my fucking way. And those films did amazingly well for them. They were like, dude, we had no idea in this budget you would do these fucking
Yeah.
fantastic performances. It could have gone horribly wrong. I had my backup. If this didn't work, I already recorded everything of the way they wanted. But I was like, no one will love your film the amount you will. Remember that. Not even the brand. No one knows and loves films on your film the way you will. Get your fucking way.
So
जो इतना लेट हुए जो भी हुए but the whole team my
yeah.
whole team worked like magic. जहाँ पे भी लेट हुए उसको गाली पड़ रही है, अरे यार सेट का क्या हो रहा है, वो अपना काम कर रहे हैं मगर उसे पता है उसको गाली पड़ रही है टाइम बचाने के लिए. कहीं पे डीपी को पड़ा, अबे यार तेरा लेंस फिर ये हो गया, बट एवरीवन स्टिल वर्किंग टुगेदर. बाद में we're laughing about it,
Yeah.
but we all love the product and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the music for it. I directed the music for it with one of my really close friends who produced the music. We did the shots. Like it was just amazing, dude. Like I can never forget that. You know. And after that, I worked with that person 3 times more. That celebrity.
It's a wholesome feeling. I feel that at a point when you see your
It's
end
just
result getting
beautiful,
to, I just can't imagine that. But yeah, like we get that 1%
dude.
feel.
It's like it's like playing God almost. It's like the gold God complex because it's your idea. It's out of thin air that you actually see on screen and thousands of people have seen,
Yeah.
if not lakhs.
Even at our college level, so once we had a trip to Lonavala and we created a film on delivery, the logistic company, and the wholesome feeling I had because the film won in our college, and I was like, wow, like I was the director. So I had this a little name that I am the camera boy in college. So everyone was like, okay, let's work with Maulik. But I didn't know anyone. But the film turned out to be so great. I was like, okay, जो मेहनत हमने 2 दिन डाली है, it's a feeling that everyone, it's
That's
getting
great. Yeah, man.
to
It's
see your,
beautiful.
yeah. So, about that, we know about the process, but are there any specific components in an ad that should be done in a certain way that makes it good, or is it just about hit and trial thing that maybe
No,
just
no, no, not at all. No hit and trial, dude. In fact, you should be so proper कि अगर बाय चांस मेरे को गोली लग गई, पैर टूट गया, कुछ हो गया, हार्ट अटैक आ गया, माई टीम इज सो वेल वर्स्ड, एवरीथिंग इज सो ऑन पेपर कि मेरे बिना भी एड शूट हो जाएगी और वैसी बनेगी जैसे मैं चाहता था.
Hmm,
It should be so proper. So your recce, first of all, your recce has to be phenomenal. A lot is dependent on the location.
hmm,
Then on the basis of that, you have a meeting with every department of your team. First, individually, get, put your vision across, get them to give you everything, finalize, then have a meeting with every department together. So everyone knows this is what everyone's doing. ये आर्ट है तो कॉस्ट्यूम को ये लाना पड़ेगा, ब्लू बैकग्राउंड है, ब्लू कॉस्ट्यूम तो ला नहीं सकते, राइट? सो दे नो आर्ट ऐसा है तभी कॉस्ट्यूम ऐसा होगा, कॉस्ट्यूम ऐसा है, आर्ट ऐसा है तो हेयर एंड मेकअप ऐसा होगा, हेयर एंड मेकअप कॉस्ट्यूम ये ऐसे है तो लाइटिंग ऐसी होगी.
yeah,
You understand? Everything in filmmaking is hand in hand. That's why I say every department in my film knows what's happening. Every person knows what's happening. Then उसके बाद ये मेरी एक्टर्स की ब्लॉकिंग है, तो लाइटिंग ऐसी होगी, यहाँ पे जगहें हैं, ये फिर एक्टर्स को बुलाओ कि भाई हमने ये प्लान करा है, आप क्या करना चाहते हो, what is your movement, what is you comfortable with, this is my idea, this is what I would suggest, what would you like to do. Let them also explore. We give everyone the freedom to do as much and then with them collaborate to get your vision to life.
hmm,
Then people also, when you give people the feeling of responsibility, they also like to work harder because they feel like they have the skin in the game.
hmm,
Why I didn't like working as an AD, because I was like, मेरा क्या eventual, मेरे को तो बस यहाँ से चीजें लानी है, वो कुछ करना है, ये सब उठाना है, like fuck that, I'm not gonna do
yeah,
that. By the end of it, you're a creative person, right? गधा मजदूर थोड़ी ना हूँ मैं. You want to do something fucking nice, right? You want to use your fucking brains. So enable people to do it. As a director, you're a great enabler. If you see, direction is no skill as such. Like say being a cinematographer is a skill, editing is a skill, even being a gaffer is a skill. Direction is no skill. Direction is people management,
yeah,
is managing, is driving people towards your vision. It's literally managing people towards a higher goal.
hmm,
That's what direction is. It's literally people skills
yeah. Okay, so you would say that,
and with a vision.
so like if the process is in a structured way, you would end up getting a good, impactful ad. Like if you have done, uh,
Mostly.
yeah,
And always believe in Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong
will go.
110,000%. There is not a film set. If you think कि क्या film set है, कुछ गलत ही नहीं जा रहा, कुछ पक्का गलत जा रहा है, तुम्हें बस पता नहीं.
Okay.
Always have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G ready.
Hmm.
Always, always, always. At least I work like that. I have multiple plans. अगर ये इस पे late हो गया तो ये shot लेंगे, ये नहीं हो गया ये लेंगे. Sometimes now I'm lucky that I can have an extra budget always. कि मेरे पास हमेशा एक दो extra cameras होते हैं. I have more angles. I'm over prepared, I
Hmm.
would say. If I'm not on set, I know कि मेरे को basic वो film मेरी बन जाएगी जो मेरे को चाहिए. But obviously being on set and by being so prepared, still have an open mind to
Hmm.
explore on set, because magic still happens till the film is not out. Your film is still a living creature. It's still ready for change,
Hmm.
because even now, every second that you breathe, you learn. You can keep changing your film
Hmm.
till the film is not out. It can always change. So have an open mind, but be super prepared. So what I would do is have a list of shots that you 110% need to create a story, right? कि ये शॉट सबसे पहले हमने खत्म करने ही करने, right? जैसे भी है.
Hmm.
And I would say those first whatever shots have to first few shots have to be, if it's a very very well known actor or crew, etc., to get the rapport with the film and the team, warm everyone up. Easy peasy shots but important shots, establishing shots.
Hmm.
Okay, get the whole crew, everyone ready. After that, some shots ki, matlab, these are our key shots but not that important, get that done. And then experimental shots, it always has to be in that flow. And then if you have time, try
Hmm.
experimenting with your story. What if this does better? Do silly things.
Yeah.
They work magic.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, dude, I remember we shooting with Siddharth Malhotra. They charge उनके घंटों के करोड़ रुपए होते हैं जो भी. I told him कि bro मेरी फिल्म बन गई है but मेरे को ये थोड़ी चीजें लेनी है because I think इससे एक crazy फिल्म बनेगी.
Hmm.
कहते bro, I'll stay. I like your vision. He
Hmm.
just stayed fucking 1.5 hours extra for no reason. It was brilliant.
Seeing that you have worked with so many, influential personalities, who you had the best experience with, if you can tell us.
Everyone, yeah. I mean, I would say you learn from everyone. Honestly, like I can't. Gauri Khan was just unbelievable. So lovely, so professional, so warm. Abu and Sandeep are like my bestest friends. They're my family.
Hmm.
I am whoever I am just because of them. I mean, they're everything to me. Um, Siddharth Malhotra was amazing. It was the first time I was working with him. Ananya I had known from before. She's amazing. Everyone, dude. Like, these people are somewhere because they deserve to be. Can't take away from that. Riya Kapoor was amazing. So much fun to work with.
Hmm.
Everyone, honestly. All of them are just amazing.
Okay.
Really, I'm not just saying it like that. I just can't think of a bad experience that I've had with any one of them.
Okay.
Really.
Hmm. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to a beginner who is trying, in advertising or in the industry that's related to media, film, and stuff? So, one thing that a person should have in mind that like can get the person to make it.
Make sure the reason you want to do it is the right reason for you. That your passion is in the right place. Otherwise, don't do it. You
Okay.
know. I
Hmm.
mean, this is not something you should just do if you don't have the passion for it.
Yeah.
There's no way you'll sustain.
I feel, is it because of this, like the struggle or the curve that you go through, or
नहीं
is
ब्रो, मेरे को लगता है कोई भी काम है ना, मार्केटिंग वार्केटिंग भी करनी है. मतलब मैं ऐसा इंसान हूँ, लाइक आई कांट जस्ट कांट गेट अप फ्रॉम द बेड ओनली इफ आई कांट डू थिंग्स बिकॉज दे हैव टू बी डन. आई हैव टू एंजॉय इट.
you have to
So
be driven?
because I'm like that, to know your reasons, you have to know your whys.
So I was thinking about this campaign. So Apple did, like, I think a year back with Vishal Bhardwaj. So he made a short film with the iPhone, and I think for me that was something brilliant because like Apple for me, it's a dream brand for me. Uh, like I am fascinated with that brand so much, and Vishal Bhardwaj, like one of the great directors, is combined with Apple.
Fuck, just he's the yeah.
So
I mean, I can't even say anything. Yeah.
what's your thought about that campaign, or like, you know,
I haven't seen it, but But the idea of it is brilliant, man. Like that's what I'm saying, right? That's the whole synergy. Like what we were talking about, a great brand coming up with a great creator and being like, just go for it. That's the whole idea behind it. Like the brand knows its vibe. They know what they want to focus on. They want to tell people that with an iPhone, if you're truly creative, you can create something, a masterpiece. And they got someone who's the best in the industry, who's, I mean, the OG. मैं
Yeah.
क्या ही बोल सकता हूँ. And they did just create something. That's what more. That's just perfect. That is what it is about.
Okay. What's one ad or any campaign that, like, you are fascinated by? So like it's a great ad that everyone should, just
Hmm.
have watch it, or
So many, dude. Like the Coca-Cola Pepsi wars,
yeah.
in the early 90s, late 80s. The Fevicol ads. Navdeep Singh's only made one where this guy is sitting, fishing kar raha hota hai. The SEG Lapai ad.
Yeah.
The Pepsi ad, जहाँ पे शाहरुख खान becomes a fake Sachin. Have you seen it? You have
Uh,
to watch it. Prahlad Kakkar. You
I
have to watch it. It's
tried,
unbelievable.
I think in college, but I can't remember that. But yeah, the idea.
Bro, that is direction. That is direction masterpiece. The way the camera just moves and flows. But oh, Prahlad PK killed it with that. So that there's so many beautiful fucking ads, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. In fact, there's this one amazing film. It's a Ferragamo film called Walking Stories. It's on YouTube. So what they've done is they've taken out one, I think, 40-minute film also on it, and then there are 2 2 minute ke, and it's a very old film. मतलब 8 9 साल पुरानी है. 2 2 minute ke. They've also taken out cuts. Now, if you see 40 minutes also, the story is the same, of course, but that whole thing about how every medium is different. You'll see those 2 minute cuts. The whole structure is different of the story. It's edited differently, and the 40 minutes is edited differently. What a brilliant piece of. It's just unbelievable. And Ferragamo is known for its shoes and everything, so it's called Walking Stories. It's amazing. And if something for storytelling, even for advertisers, I think someone must watch is this film. It's called Wild Tales. It's on Amazon Prime now. I saw it. I shouldn't say how and when I watched it, but it's Wild Tales.
Okay.
Must watch.
Okay. Okay. So
Anything by Abhishek Chaubey. Anything by Abhishek Chaubey. Again, the essence of storytelling, being true to whatever. So many ads, dude. You've opened up Pandora's box for me.
okay.
Cadbury, dude. How
Ah,
heartfelt. Kiss me.
and
Even the old ones.
I like their shorts card, the Cadbury shorts they used to. I just love
ऐसा
it. Yeah,
मन में लड्डू फूटा.
One Miller Dakota. It was something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy for
Brilliant.
me.
Bro, even the Vodafone, man. The
The
Vodafone
Docomo,
Zuzu.
the white characters, right?
The white cat Zuzus or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
The Hutch ads everywhere where you go, we'll
Yeah.
follow you. That pug, iconic,
From that
iconic.
ads, my mom started loving the pug so much. I just can't tell you.
Yeah.
These ads are something else only. Okay.
See, I mean, you can create culture with such things, man. It's brilliant. Good, what good times, now.
Yeah. These days,
Google ki ad, yaar, where that whole Google ad when Pakistani Dadaji meets the Indian Dadaji, that whole thing.
I might have watched
Another brilliant one.
that. Okay.
It's a good one.
Okay. Okay. So, like moving to the end, one thing I would want to ask is any one specific brand or any one person that like you have in mind that you want to work with, or are you currently working on something good and you want to
I
share?
am working currently on something, but I can't share that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, there are brands I want to work with.
Thank you so much. Like I got
Cheers, homie.
really great insights from
It was a fun talk. It was a fun talk.
Thank you so much.